but it's not bacteriostatic. The zeolite doesn't kill bacteria. What we believe happens is mostly pH effects. We know that natural cellular defense raises the pH of its environment, and bacteria doesn't do well in alkaline pH. So a physiological pH, the bacteria doesn't do well. Additionally, a healthy body fights bacteria and viruses pretty well. Okay, so a healthy bacteria is fighting off the viral infection because of things like zinc finger proteins that I mentioned before. So we feel that that's the primary effect. Also, there were 2 studies published in viruses, and that's different. When you talk about pathogens, first of all, we can't make any claim as to the treatment or prevention of disease with the natural cellular defense. It's a dietary supplement. But there were 2 studies published talking about zeolites and its effect on viral replication. Understand, when viruses replicate, the first thing viruses do is they send their DNA or RNA into our cells, and they take over our cellular machinery to make copies of themselves. But they can't make a whole virus. They make viral parts, little viral particles. It's like if I was going to make a copy of you, I'd make 2 legs, 2 arms, a torso, and a head. And then I'd have to put it together. That's called viral assembly. Now, when a virus needs to assemble, it makes an enzyme called viral protease. The viral protease is like a pair of scissors. It cuts all the pieces. Once it cuts the pieces, they take on charges, and they're attracted to each other. So imagine, right after viral protease starts cutting some of the pieces, now you have some small, highly charged pieces that are small enough to fit inside a zeolite. So if the zeolite actually captures some of those pieces, the virus can still assemble, but now it's missing parts. And it becomes a non-viable virus. For example, I used to have a car that sat in front of my house, and it didn't work, right? It looked like a car, right? You'd think it would get me from point A to point B, but it was missing pieces, and so it didn't work. My father hated me for that car. He wanted the sculpture out of his front yard, you know? But that's what happens. So if you're missing some of these viral particles, the virus is no longer viable, and that's why we believe in some cases the zeolite might be effective at reducing viral infection. A bacteria, as opposed to a zeolite cage, a 1-micron zeolite cage, is like, I don't know, it's like a penny in the middle of this room compared to the whole room. I mean, it's very, very tiny. So the zeolite cage is not going to attract a bacteria. You know, it's not going to happen. Now, certainly, the zeolite might be attracted to a bacteria based on membrane potential, membrane charges, but 99% of the function of the zeolite is extracellular. It's outside of the cells. The zeolite is not going to get into healthy cells. It won't. It functions by floating around the body and sucking up toxin and heavy metals that are in circulation. The toxin and heavy metals that are trapped inside cells are trapped inside cells, and they'll get released slowly over time. Let me go over that in a few minutes, okay? So what really differentiates us from the other products out there, as I said, is the fact that we're clean and we're smaller. We get into the body and we have more surface area. We've also conducted more than 14 clinical studies on the product.